Welcome back to Stroke, the art of mental stimulation, where we touch subjects at depths that most people aren't willing to go. We keep it really raw and honest, transparency at its finest, and oh yeah, we're not afraid to go there. Today we're going to touch on a really touchy subject. A lot of people are afraid and we kind of go around it. The title of the episode is Shining Light Through the Darkness, Understanding Suicide Awareness. So hopefully listening to this episode, we'll find some ways to support each other, some comfort. And I don't want anyone to think this is any type of substitute for professional help. 988 is the National Suicide Hotline for anyone that's in crisis. You can call, you can text, and they have people available to support you, to listen. We do have lifelines out here available for you guys. Before we dive in, for those of you who don't know, you have D-Luv on the mic with you today. And of course, you know what's about to happen to you. It's time to get stroked up. One day I was sitting around, I was thinking about what it must be like for someone who's drowning. I imagine when they first enter the water, there's still hope. There's still some fight in them. And as the water begins to submerge them a little bit and they're going under, they're still thinking there's a lifeline, there's a way out. They're still fighting. And as they sink further and further down, I think all hope kind of disappears. And I imagine in my mind, if I was going down, if I was drowning, in the midst of it all, eventually it'll be some type of acceptance of the inevitable. Death is near. And I probably would stop fighting. I'd probably give in, say a short prayer to God in my head, and just succumb to it. So I imagine that is kind of what it must be like for people who have died via suicide. I imagine every day they walk this earth, they're fighting. There's a chance, there's hope. They're fighting every day. They're dealing with the pain every day. They putting up a fight. We don't know how hard it is for them to get up out of bed every day. We don't know the thoughts that are going through their head and the effort it really takes. They're walking past us every day and, pretending everything's okay. No one wants people to know that they're going through things. We all want to stay within with our struggles, with our pains, fear of judgment. So, I just imagine the agony that they must feel. And they say most people who commit suicide, or let's say, rewind that, most people who have suicidal thoughts don't actually want to die by suicide. Most people who have suicidal thoughts, they just want the pain to go away. Emotionally, they're feeling so much pain and so much despair that is overtaking them. And eventually, it's just like the only way to end it is to, end it all. Get rid of life. And, we want these people to know that they're seen, that they're heard. It's okay. We want these people to know there is a way out. So we need to raise our awareness, be more, aware of ways we can prevent this, educate ourselves. I mean, this subject is very near and dear to me. And for those of you who have been along on this journey, you may have remembered I mentioned, I think it was the episode called When Darkness Falls, Low Vibrational Moments Are Inevitable. I mentioned my cousin. I had a cousin that died via suicide. And we were so close like sisters. We grew up together like since yay high, like little kids. It was my mother's sister's child. Ollie Butler, that's her name. I will always say her name and keep it alive. Ollie Butler, we call her Drea. And I remember the times when, she'd be so sad. Like sadness is always in her eyes, and she was the kindest person, the most kind person, and she was always smiling and always willing to give her last and give her all to any and everybody. But you can see within her is like in her eyes, it's always like something going on. It was like a darkness. And I knew what her main battle was about. It was about her kids, her children. Hopefully one day they'll listen to this and they'll understand it. At the time, they were taken away from her, and she was doing everything she could to try to get them back. And every day I was seeing her battling. Every day I see her going back and forth to court. I see her going to parenting classes and taking every step that she could take to try to get her children back. And the more she tried, and I won't get too deep into the details, the more she tried and the more that she didn't succeed, it's like you could see that veil of darkness coming down over her more and more and more. And I was the only one she really talked to about it, about the despair and the depression. They even, gave her medicine once, and she didn't like the way it made her feel. She didn't want to take it anymore. And, one time out of her mouth, she said it to me. And I was not educated. I watched movies. I was young. I never witnessed it before. And she actually said the words to me like, sometimes I just want to kill myself. And I took it lightly. I was like, girl, you ain't going to kill yourself. Just stop saying that. I took it lightly. I took it as a joke. And it came a point when she and we stopped speaking. We had a disagreement, and we stopped speaking, I think, for like 6 or 7 months. And mind you, I was the only one she talked to about all that darkness and all the things that was bothering her. I was the only one she felt comfortable to do that with. So for those months, she didn't have me. And I was out of town in Alabama, and I remember when I got that call at like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning saying that she committed suicide via taking pills. So she overdosed. And, that hurt me to my core, and that's the day that suicide became real to me. And for a long time, I kind of blame myself. I blame myself for not taking it seriously. I blame myself for letting pride and ego, keep me away from the situation, away from her. And eventually I realized, it wasn't my fault she was going through something like that. But for the longest time, I held on to that. But through education and knowing a little more about it, who knows, maybe I could have done something. Maybe, another step could have been taken, but that's neither here nor there. So, we have to be aware of these things. When people say things to us, we have to listen. When they say things to us, we have to listen. And I know deep down, she didn't want to leave here because she had her kids that she wanted to live for. And one thing people always say, religious people, spiritual, I am a firm believer in God, so don't take that away. But, I truly believe God loves people by their heart, and that's how he measures someone. And he knows us. He knows his children. And, people always say suicide is the only sin that can't be forgiven because you can't ask for forgiveness because you're gone. And, with the big heart she had, the love she showed on this earth, the smile she put inside of people, in my heart, the God I serve, I can't see that. I can't see God, place her anywhere but right next to him in heaven. I don't think we have that type of God. So, I know that's hope for her. I know where she is. That was a beautiful soul. But we have to be aware. We have to be open. A lot of people are under the impression that when it comes to suicide that we don't speak about it. If someone's suicidal or even if someone, exposes the information to you, you think, don't bring up the word. You think that'll make them commit suicide. But in actuality, talking about it is a way to heal. Talking about it, let them know that, someone's there for them. Someone's listening, that they're not being judged, getting it off of their chest. Allow them to speak freely and say everything they have to say. So, talking about it is a big thing in prevention, and a lot of people, have that misconstrued. So we got to get rid of that myth, number one. Number two, man, support systems. Like letting them know you're always there. Giving them options of getting help. Go and see somebody, like that suicide prevention line I gave you guys, 988. I'll keep repeating that through the episode. 988, the suicide prevention hotline. As a friend, the type of friend that I am, I can't sit around and see someone I love going through the depths of despair, going through anything. I can't just sit there and just be quiet because you'll get mad or, you'll think I'm judging you, whatever. That's not in my heart. I would sacrifice us for you. Let me repeat that. I will sacrifice us for you. So if you hate me, you dislike me, whatever, because I bring up something you don't want to hear, because I see something, that's something I can live with because you get to live on. So, that's just how I roll, man. I'm real like that. So I will love you from afar as long as you're here on this earth. I'd rather give you your flowers here than have to take them to the grave. So, yeah, open your mouth, man. You see something out of place? Say something. It's signs out there. People think that suicide comes out of nowhere. There are signs. When you see someone talking about how worthless they are, or, they don't belong here, or they want to leave here or whatever, take it seriously. Take it seriously. Let them know they matter. Let them know they're loved. And if you're not around, man, I don't know what I would do. You have to be that pillar sometimes to let them know, because sometimes that's all it takes. Everything is done in the darkness around here. Like I say, we walk around and want to, pretend like we're perfect, and nothing goes on. And that's not true. And, another stigma is people think, people think when they bring up suicide that's mental illness automatically. That's a mental health matter. You don't have to have mental health issues in order to, commit suicide. And that's another stigma that people need to get rid of. It could be an average, everyday person who some type of trauma happened and it was just too much for them to bear emotionally. And like the drowning, they felt like there was no way out. So, we have to get rid of that as well, man. So, yeah, let's have these open dialogues. Let's talk about this stuff because it's real. It's real out here. Every 10 minutes, someone dies of suicide. That's a big number. Every 10 minutes, someone dies of suicide. So, it's really serious out here. We got to get that under control. And in the youth, I think they said between the ages of 15 to 29, suicide is the third leading cause of death. And I think that is number one, because with the kids these days, and you guys can let me know if you agree with me, it seems like they have lower self-esteem. It seems like they are self-conscious, more self-conscious than we were. And I always go back to social media, because everything's on display. You have to be perfect. You have to look like this, and you have to look like this. No one wants to be an average person anymore. So I feel like they have a little more pressure on them. So I think it starts from when they're kids. We have to go ahead and put things inside their head, let them know they're loved. It doesn't matter what other people think. All that stuff is superficial. So we really have to talk to these kids. We really have to let them know, put it in their mind, put it in their hearts, expose them to it, have these conversations. Bullying, we can't bully someone. You don't know the thoughts in their head. You don't know what they're going through. We can't judge each other like that. So, it starts young. When I don't judge me or not, I remember I like to watch the ID channel. My nephew was younger, and they had an episode on the ID channel where a kid was getting bullied. And the little girl came home, and her mother found her hanging in a room because of bullies, because of words and these kids teasing her every single day. And I made him sit right there with me. And I don't know if you remember this. If you tune into this episode, nephew, and you hear this, if it rings a bell, let me know. But I made him sit there, and I made him watch it with me. And I say, when you go to school, I said, you don't bully people. You don't talk about them. You don't make them feel bad. But stuff like this happens. And if you're going through anything in your life where you feel like things are that bad, where you feel like something like this is the only way out, you always got somewhere to come. You always have someone to talk to. Non-judgmental. You can tell me anything. Like, I am a safe space. So, we have to be open, man. We have to be open with these kids, stop hiding stuff, because the internet is teaching them before us. They're desensitized. Sorry. So are we. You can see people online, people getting killed via live, Facebook Live. I watched a video that hurt my heart. I saw some kids sitting on the embankment, and a guy was drowning, and they were recording, laughing, not calling 911, not trying to help, not trying to throw out a lifeline. So, we're living in a different world, so we need to get a handle on these kids, man. We need to get a handle on it, like, fast, and, reel them in. You let them know you are loved, you belong here. There are other ways out. I don't care what happens to you in life. You can go bankrupt. You can lose everything. You can lose your woman. You can lose your husband. I mean, you can be at the bottom of the barrel with nothing. As long as you still have breath in your body, there is still hope for tomorrow. There is still hope for tomorrow. And when people are going through these dark times, we can't be dismissive. We can't be dismissive and play it off as if it's small. We can't. We can't act like they're attention seeking. A lot of people do that as well, man. So, we have to be on it. These things can't be prevented. They can be prevented, but we have to do it together. We can't turn a blind eye. Let's say you have someone who's withdrawing. Withdrawal is a big sign of suicide. They withdraw. And what do we do when people withdraw? Oh, they acting funny. They're acting funny, man. So I'm not going to talk to them either. You don't know what they're going through. We have to stop making everything so personal. We have to stop making everything about us. I know we all live in our own movie, our own lives, whatever. But, we have to open our eyes to what's going on around us. It's not always about us. If you and this person didn't have an altercation and something didn't go wrong, no, they're not acting funny. Check on them. Even if they are acting funny, how about you ask, hey, what's going on? We good? Everything okay? Just even that. Somebody sees me. I'm not drowning with nobody looking. Someone sees me. So even that'll give you your answer. So communication, that's a big one, man. Like people are drowning right in front of us. So, yeah, let them know that you're there. People having drastic mood swings. Even a sign I was reading, it says if someone is in that dark place and they're feeling worthless and all of a sudden their mood changes and they're all calm, check on them. Because that could be a sign that they decided to take their own life. So, be there, number one. Be there. Check on them. Someone that's automatically starting to give away their possessions, giving away and, riding wheels and, you 33 and you riding your wheels and giving away stuff. And it's like, okay, that's a red flag. Okay, that's a sign. And we can't get confused about a happiness either. The happiest people at times are the main ones that need to be checked on. That strong friend, that's the one you need to check on. Those strong friends, it's a lot of pain that hide behind smiles, man. So always check on them, man. Be open, be available. Just give of yourself, man. We need each other. We really do. We need each other. Man, it's like, I don't even know. If you think somebody has just look like they're on their last leg, I don't know. Take them to see someone professionally. I'll take you myself. Take them to see someone professional. You see someone that just look like there is no hope. I don't care if you don't like me. I will have you ride with me, take a ride with me, and I will stop by the mental health facility myself. I will walk in with you. I'll have you come in with me like it's about me, and I'm the one going through something. And get you in there and then talk to you and tell you since we're here, hey, why don't you go speak with them? I'll go first. You go first. Like, that's the type of friend that I am. Okay, so, man, yeah, we got to get this thing. We got to get a handle on it, man. It's getting serious out here. And they say a lot of people have suicidal thoughts, going through life. They say most of us, millions of us have suicidal thoughts, but that doesn't mean most people who have suicidal thoughts actually go through with it. Something I found odd. One time I went to the doctor. I was having insomnia. I couldn't sleep. So, I went to the doctor. I was like, hey, I need some help. It's gotten bad. I can't sleep. And, I got prescribed some medicine, and the side effect said, may have suicidal thoughts. And I said, oh, no. I'm trying to go to sleep, not for the long one. So, it's crazy. I'm like, in the medicine, I may have suicidal thoughts. So not only is, like you say, mental illness and all that, I think it's chemical imbalances caused by some medicines and stuff too. And I won't get off into that. Caused by other things, maybe things in food and all kind of other things, man. I think it's big. So yeah, just pay attention to each other. Be there for each other. Like, pay attention to the signs. Let them know you're available. Oh no, remove objects. If you see someone who could be suicidal, get rid of everything that could be lethal. Guns, pesticides, medicines, any type of weapons, any type of thing, we got to get rid of it. Like, don't put something in front of them and they could be at risk. Always stay around them, man. Even someone who's attempted suicide before. They say for all the people that's committed suicide, it's even more that's attempted it but just didn't succeed. So, we got to keep an open eye on that, man. But it's real out here. I've talked to a lot of people who say they have people that have committed suicide. They know people who've talked about it. And for some reason, a lot of people want to give people their space. I'm going to give you your space. They're acting like no, I'm all in your space. I'm in your space and I'm in your face. Hey, that's me, man. I'm that annoying friend. Let me know. I'm in your face and I'm in your space. Let me see anything that's off, anything that's wrong. I want you to live. You deserve to live. You deserve life. People love you. Like, we're a community, man. Let's gather around, y'all. Let's gather around. Let's speak about it openly so people are not ashamed, so people are not embarrassed. Life gets hard. I know it. Life gets hard, man. But like I always say on that 5 for 5, negative and positive balances are a part of life. And we can't let that get to us because it's always another day. It's always another tomorrow. Like I said, you can be homeless with nothing and start from scratch. And you can make a way. I don't care. All we need is God. All we need is God. I don't care if a person left you and they were your everything and you can't live without them. All we need is God. That's it. When you look towards God, He is the answer to everything. I promise you He's the answer to everything. I mean, He loves you more than anyone could ever imagine. And, I don't want to turn to a preacher on here, but I feel it all through my core, all through my spirit. Anytime I have been at the bottom, and I've been at the bottom, I might make it look good. But those people that I confide in and know me, who I've spoken to about certain situations, I've been in some darkness myself. So I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like, man. And I'm here. We're here as a community. I'm speaking for everybody. We're here. You're loved. It may not be by someone that's around you, but someone loves you. You're loved. We need you here. You're important. And we will keep on, I repeat it over and over. Okay, so like I said, if you need help, go get professional help. Don't be ashamed. That crisis hotline, if you want to be incognito, they're not going to say who you are. 988 is the National Suicide Crisis Hotline. Hit that up. They have someone who will talk to you. And just from experience, not the suicide hotline. I had a friend before that reached out to me about someone that was in a domestic violence situation. And I was torn for a while because they made me promise not to say anything because they didn't want to be known that they said anything. So I actually called one of those hotlines, the domestic violence hotline. I called it, and the person answered. They were so nice, and they sat there and listened to me. I started crying and everything, pouring out my soul. So, it works. You don't have anyone in the house with you, man, reach out to that stranger. In life, sometimes strangers show you more support than the people that you know. So, yeah, let's do it, man. We saving lives around here together. I love you all. Okay, let's reach out. Let's get help. Let's not be afraid. Man, we need you. But, man, I got caught up in that, man. I told you that subject, it means a lot to me. It means so much to me, man. Life is important. Life is beautiful. And before we get out of here, I want to say that I enjoyed you guys tonight on the Strok'D Experience. Make sure you follow at Strok'D, STROK'D _ the podcast, at Strok'D, STROK'D _ the podcast. And make sure you subscribe. That's important, man. You guys listen all the time, but make sure you hit that subscribe button. I told you, they looking at the analytics. They paying attention to all the stuff that's not really important to me. But in order to, make this thing thrive, we got to go by their rules. So y'all, help me out. I appreciate all the love and the support, man. And remember, you are loved. If not by anyone else, God loves you. Feel free to reach out. I'm here. I'm always a listening ear. Hit the inbox, hit the DM. And most importantly, what just happened to you? You just got stroked up. Bye.